Community leaders from the Somerville, Massachusetts area announced today their support for the Welcoming Massachusetts campaign. The movement, which seeks 100,000 signatures, calls for a change legally and culturally in attitudes and laws towards immigrants in the New England Commonwealth.
Why do people come here? They come here to make a better life for themselves.
Danny LeBlanc is the CEO of the Somerville Community Development Corporation, one of the supporting organizations of this initiative.
To make a better life for themselves, what are they likely to do? Think about young people in particular. If you can't find a job because you were stigmatized as an immigrant, what are you likely to do? You're likely to look for other ways to make a living. They're not likely to be healthy ways for anybody. Some of this is just very practical. We are a stronger community when we welcome immigrants and give them the tools they need to do what they want to do in the first place. And when we do the opposite, we're likely to have the opposite result. We are likely to have people who have no choice but to look at other ways to support themselves, which won't be above board.
The movement lists 7 principles favoring the immigrant presence in Massachusetts. Among them, believe that Massachusetts residents are emphatic and compassionate people and proud of their history as a bastion of American democracy. Founding U.S. principles establish the equality of all, including immigrants. Harsh immigration enforcement policies violate civil and human rights. Patricia Montes is a director of Centro Presente in Cambridge.
Yo diría que esto es como un llamado.
This is a call to the U.S. community that they recognize the humanity of others who don't necessarily speak the language, but who are human beings. We are not speaking about benefits. We are speaking of integration between two cultures, between two communities who live in the same place but continue living segregated and do not know each other.
Dos comunidades que viven en el mismo lugar pero que siguen viviendo segregadas, que no se conocen.
First of all, I would like to thank the Anglo people that are present here today for supporting this initiative.
Pastor Tony Morales shepherds the Vida Real community in Somerville.
I'm a pastor of a church. My family owns several businesses in Somerville. I went to school here. I went to college. I earned 3 master's degrees. And I just say that because most of the people that are against the immigrant community, they think that all immigrants are bums, which is not true. If people give us a chance, we can develop.
We've been named, we've been singled out in a lot of articles in the newspaper. You are the criminals. So it's very important to say we are not. And we need those other voices who say we are not criminals.
I think it's important in the literature that you pass out to be talking about some issues that affect everyone in both communities. And I do think there are perceived to be different communities, whether they are or not. I think they're perceived that way. And I'll give you just a few examples in terms of today. I think when you talk about decent jobs, I think you need to talk about the fact that if you ostracize and take away rights from the immigrant community, you are essentially depressing the labor situation for everyone, because you're able to pay those people less, and then the people in the non-immigrant community are charging more. And I think one way you can show this is by, in your literature, and actually I think this, I have the same comment for the Somerville Community Corporation, which I am a member of. I think you need to say, either have your literature printed by a union shop or indicate that it's been labor donated on the bottom, so that you are indicating solidarity with the labor movement and that you support the labor movement. And hope that it supports you, and I think it does in this era. For the first time probably in 70 years, the labor movement is actually supporting the immigrant community.
The immigrant community in Massachusetts is calling for the state to become a welcoming state. And the question remains is, can it not be a welcoming state when it has redefined human rights to the point it has changed the definition of marriage? This is Father Bob Carr from Somerville, Massachusetts.